So this isn't done yet. This is just a work in progress. But I just wanted to show you where I'm at with the West Side stage. So the first thing you'll notice is that when we scroll, the one-way sign has actually been made independent. So you can see that it scrolls distinctly from it. The other interesting thing here is, see this sign? This is actually the first time this Final Fight asset has ever actually been seen in a real game. Even in the Japanese version, this was censored. This was actually the original sign graphic before they replaced it with the surf sign. And it's funny because if you watch videos on YouTube that talk about Final Fight and censorship in various regions and all that, none of them ever actually mention that this sign is in the game ROMs. It's actually in there, and but nobody ever saw it. And what's actually really interesting about it is if you modify the memory of the real arcade machine, the way the game renders, it actually just overlays the surf billboard graphics on top of this. So it's actually there, just hidden by the one that's been put over it. So yeah, I guess Capcom just decided that it was a little too sexy to put in arcade game. But yeah, so this version of Final Fight is going to have both the racy sign and the surf sign. They're both going to be in there. And so yeah, so once again, this is the first time this has ever actually been seen in playable version of Final Fight. There are some other unused graphics in the games that I'll be using for some kind of exciting things, so that'll be interesting when it's finally available. Yeah, I hooked up all the animations. I got actually this stage has a lot of background animations. You notice that you have like the lights above the door frame, you have the bar, you have the background wall lights, you got the foreground table lights, even like in the corner of the door above the crowd in the background, even that glows with the lights. There's actually a lot of background animations, kind of interesting. Um, yeah, this is kind of where some of it starts to fall apart. I haven't actually like here. I see how the Z index is wrong, and I actually haven't added the moon to the stage yet, even though I have the moon from the ring stage, which is really the same stage. There's also some cleanup that needs to be done here. You'll notice that the back. This is basically the original background art assets, even though I've actually already fixed some alignment issues. You notice that this is pretty fucking rough right here. I mean, look at that background. What a mess. I'm gonna clean a lot of that up. It's just a complete disaster. There's a lot of like really rough stuff in this game. It's pretty obvious that Final Fight was, made quickly and pushed out the door. Um, but you can see though how I have most of it already. It's pretty much intact, and so I'm gonna be doing some polishing. Add the remaining missing graphics. Clean up some more graphics. But yeah, but more or less, this was a fairly straightforward stage, other than the fact that it has so much damn animation. There was so much stuff to rip. Um, and like from a gameplay perspective, when I get to it, this stage is going to be kind of interesting because in the original Final Fight, there are basically scripted scenes. So after you beat up everyone in the bar and go on to continue, in the original game, basically an Andor runs in, grabs you, and takes you to the ring stage. My version of Final Fight is not going to be like that. Every second of the game basically is going to be playable. So when the Andor rushes you, like if you're fast enough and can hit him, you'll actually be able to take him down and skip the ring stage. And I'm going to be putting in all kinds of little hidden secrets and stuff that you can unlock in the game and things you can do when you do things like that. So that'll be something to keep in mind when you actually play it. That you don't just want to sit around and watch things. You will always have control and can do things. So it'll be kind of fun. It'll be interesting. Like I said, the point of this is not to do a one-to-one creation of the original Final Fight. It's to make it better. It's to make it more interesting. It's to make it fresh and unique in certain ways. So yeah, this is the what I got so far for the West Side stage. I'll be finishing up this in the next couple of days.